Hello there. Today we have Fraser Atkinson, CEO of GreenPower Motor Company, trading on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol GP. Fraser, thanks for being with us again today.
Thanks for having us on the show.
Fraser, tell us about GreenPower Motor Company's products and business model.
So GreenPower Motor Company is focused in two areas, in the all-electric school bus space and more of a horizontal medium-duty Class 4 vehicle space. In the case of the school buses, we design, manufacture, and distribute a smaller Class 4 Type A school bus, which we call the Nano Beast, and a larger Type D school bus, which we call the Beast. And this gives us a unique market opportunity where we are the only EV OEM that has both the smaller and the larger school bus products. In the case of the Class 4 space, this is driven by our own cabin chassis, and in many of the sectors that we compete on, whether it's on the commercial or passenger vehicle or just the sale of the cabin chassis, is that we are the only one that have our own cabin chassis, where our competitors are buying and using someone else's, and in most cases, someone else's that was built for an internal combustion engine.
Fraser, we know that there are many incentives out there being offered by governments at various levels. How does GreenPower plan to leverage them to expand its market presence and drive revenue growth?
So first off, it's important to understand, in particular with the school bus space, what's driving the incentives that various levels of government are offering. And that's as a result of advocacy groups that have been pushing all levels of government to get rid of these older diesel-emitting school buses. And what research has found is that the NOx emissions and particulate matters that are emitted by these older diesel-emitting school buses are very harmful to school kids, and in particular the younger school kids with their development of their lungs. So there's a push to replace these with all-electric school buses like GreenPower offers with our smaller and larger Type A, Type D school buses. So this, with this in mind, the government incentives that we are focusing on are at the state levels, which are aligned with the state mandates to electrify school buses over the next 8 to 9 years. In the case of New York, we're dealing with a market opportunity of 50,000 school buses that will need to be replaced with all-electric school buses, and California is 30,000 school buses.
GreenPower, currently a large backlog of orders, Fraser. How do you plan to increase production efficiency to handle that backlog?
So there's a number of things that we had to put in place over the last year or two. One, we have a dedicated facility in West Virginia for school bus production. The initial production was fairly small numbers. So as we increase the throughput and as we increase the production capacity, that is going to drive our costs down and increase the gross profit on the vehicles that go through that facility. The second thing is that we required a different funding model where we needed production financing as opposed to traditional funding in order to produce pursuant to customer orders, which is, as you put it, with our order backlog, has become our focus as opposed to necessarily worrying about the extent of the market opportunities that we've already crystallized with live orders.
ZEV credits, Fraser, tell us what they are and tell us more about your recent hiring of a consultant to monetize your ZEV credits.
So there's a number of different credits that give rise to market opportunities. And if I reference another company that has been very, very successful in trading their credits, they reference them or refer to them as tradable credits, is Tesla. And Tesla, in their most recent quarter, realized over $700 million of sales of tradable credits. And this relates to, as a manufacturer, you're given a credits for manufacturing all electric vehicles, which you can trade with companies or manufacturers that are producing traditional internal combustion engine vehicles and require ZEV credits to offset that production level in order to meet various state requirements. So with that in mind, we hired a broker who is a very seasoned veteran in this space that is out prospecting manufacturers that require these credits, in other words, that are buyers. And we are currently engaged with a number of manufacturers. If we are able to crystallize a transaction, we expect that would be somewhere in the March to April timeframe of this year for our first transaction in terms of selling credits.
Let's look ahead to the next quarter or two. What are your key plans?
So we've been transitioning from where our business model in the past was build to inventory, sell out of inventory to end customers, to where our production is pursuant to customer orders. We have a very sizable order book in terms of live orders, and even a larger sales pipeline behind that in the school bus space. So our focus over the next quarter or two is to further increase our production capacity for our school buses, and to really start to increase the delivery level of school buses to our end customers.
Fraser, here's your opportunity to speak directly to the investor. Why should he take a look at your company right now?
Well, number one, we are one of the very few companies, in fact, other than Tesla and a couple of others, that generate gross profit on the sales of our vehicles every quarter. This is something that we've been doing historically, so it's not something new, and we've developed a business model where that's an important part of ultimately hitting profitable operations. Number two is that with our order backlog, getting to 50 to 60 school buses gets us to a break-even positive cash flow. And certainly our order backlog is now positioning us to be able to accomplish that over the course of the next year or so. So we believe we're in a unique position compared to our competitors, in addition to the unique attributes of our product set that I previously talked about on the show.
It's a great story, Fraser. We love to hear it. Thank you for your update on GreenPower.
Thanks for having us on.